Welcome everyone, and today on Bearded Moon, we're howling at the moon. We're looking at the Kafie Gray Wolf. The 1901 Gray Wolf, made by Dr. Gaby Kafie, whom we know well at Privada. He has put out the Gray Wolf. The idea behind this cigar, which has a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, Honduran binder, and Honduran fillers, is to show what the San Andreas wrapper actually tastes like without having what usually comes in a San Andreas wrapped cigar, which is bold filler. That makes the cigar have a bolder profile overall than the Mexican San Andreas wrapper on its own regularly would. So Dr. Kafie blended this in order to profile the San Andreas wrapper itself and the nice smooth flavors that it can give off. That sounds pretty good to me. And as far as the construction of the cigar itself, it is premium construction through and through. We've got the very nicely applied pigtail at the cap of the cigar, and we've got a covered foot at the bottom, both premium construction details, and they go along with what is a great looking cigar. The wrapper on the cigar is not fully smooth. You can see some veining, you can see some bumps. To me, I actually like that a little bit more. When I'm taking pictures of cigars, these kind of cigars end up looking very nice because of the way that the texture catches some of the light. So for me, I actually like a cigar like this. It's perfect. And even the color on the wrapper, when you put a nice light on this and take a picture of it, the coloration on the wrapper not being completely even will, to me, in my opinion, look pretty good in pictures. So, as far as the construction goes, to me, this is an awesome cigar. It's a great Vitola, not to mention that awesome band on there with the Gray Wolf, which is actually meant to bring a little bit of attention to the fact that the Mexican Gray Wolf is going extinct. And so there we go. Dr. Gaby Kafie is bringing a little bit of attention to that cause. As far as the pairing notes that Brian put down, a cab was one of the first things that he put down. One of the last things that are mentioned is a green tea. For me, I'm just going to go with my standard and do a light coffee on it. And I think it'll go just fine with the San Andreas wrapper. So here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Privada cutter. A little bit of drama behind these at this point. I'm going to grab the Privada cutter. I'm going to do a straight cut on it. I did it a little bit uneven, but we should be okay. And before I light this cigar up, I did want to mention this came in my July box. I recently did a video on the July CAO Farm Roll Takeover. In that video, I mentioned the other cigars that come in the July box. So if you're curious, go check that video out. Without any further ado, let's get this cigar going and see what a Mexican San Andreas wrapper should taste like according to Dr. Gaby Kafie. Right off the bat, first few draws, it's got a very nice baker spice and wheat profile to it. We'll see how that profile develops as the tobacco heats up, and I will be back to let you know what I think about the flavor profile of the Gray Wolf by 1901 Cigars. All right, so in the first third, we've had no issues at all with construction. It's building up a very nice white and gray ash. As far as the flavor notes go, I'm getting a baker spice, like a clove baker spice. I'm getting a slight citrus, a wood, and then there's a constant bready note that rounds out the profile. On the retrohale, I'm getting a clean, smooth vanilla. So I'm going to continue enjoying the cigar, and I will see you in the second third. All right, so in this second third, that clove picked up a little bit of creaminess. The wood and the bread notes continue to act as a foundation for the overall flavor profile. That slight citrus note that I was getting in the first third has been replaced by a vanilla note. On the finish, an earthy note developed, and the retrohale is a nice creamy vanilla. The construction continues to be solid. I do have a little bit of cracking up at the cap. I think that's me cutting it a little bit too low. I was trying to get around that pigtail. So I don't think that has anything to do with the cigar. As far as the burn of the cigar, zero issues. So I will be back in that final third to give you my final flavor notes and my overall thoughts on the cigar, which, based on what's already happened, is going to be pretty good. So I'll see you then. Right, so in this final third, that clove mellowed out a little bit. The earthy note moved forward in the flavor profile a bit. The wood and bread notes were still present, and a slight coffee note developed in the flavor profile. On the retro hill, that creamy vanilla got a little bit sharper. Overall, this is a smooth cigar with a great flavor profile and solid construction. As usual with 1901 and Kafie cigars, zero complaints from me, especially on this one. I'm having a great experience with this cigar, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on the Privada shop to see if any of these get posted. And that is it from me. That's all I have to say today. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate the views, and have a good one.